What is your emotional capacity? This Sunday, I was leading my circle of excellence, circle of sustainable excellence, through the topic of emotional mastery and emotional capacity. And they're different. So, emotional mastery is when emotion comes up, when we activate it, when we're triggered, that we stay shorter in the activation and it hijacks who we really are underneath the emotions. Even though we are also the emotions as well, we are beautiful, complex beings. Now, when we look at capacity and look at my presentation, like some of the things that we can really look at is when we grow our emotional capacity, and our emotional capacity can be different in different areas of our life. So it could be career, it could be relationships, it could be other areas of our life. Career, relationships are, and especially relationships, personal, professional, are the biggest source of capacity to grow, the biggest source of joy, the biggest source of suffering and growing or regressing. So when you grow in your emotional capacity, you're able to handle visibility. And so especially, and I work with a lot of people, they want to put themselves out there. They want to share their work. And there is this, not just fear, but sometimes terror to put yourself out there, the fear of being humiliated, the fear of rejection, the fear of making mistakes. So when you grow in your emotional capacity, you can handle visibility more, and the feedback that comes is hurting less, if that makes sense, because your vision and who you are as a person is much, much more solid. You can handle success more. So self-sabotage is a part of us or parts of us or our psyche, our personality, our identity that can't handle a certain level of success. We have beliefs, we have stories, we have meanings around it that if you find yourself self-sabotaging or procrastinating, something's running in the background. There's a part of you that's trying to protect you. And the other week, I worked with a client specifically on some emotional reactions, family related. And for her whole life, she came with a deep desire to make things better, to be inclusive. But the other parties have not seen that from that perspective. It was more argumentative, and they wanted to one up her, even though the solutions that she came up with would be benefiting all. So it was just very interesting. So we never work on the other person. Wayne Dyer was saying, highly recommend his work, when people come to him and ask him for advice, and my mother this, my father this, and they did this to me. And he's like, okay, so bring your mother, your father, that person, bring them to me, I'll work with them, and then you'll get better. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. And if it did make sense, it does make sense. So what we worked on was actually that internal reaction, and we went deeper into the positive intention, and then chunked up to higher values and transformed. So the proof is in the experience. A few days later at family gathering, she responded completely different. It didn't ruin her day. She was present. She was able to let it go. And then she enjoyed the rest of the day with her loved one. So that's what happens when you grow your emotional capacity. You stop reacting as much. And if you do, you just like water off a duck's back. You get back on track. You can better handle difficult conversations. I used to have the pattern of postponing conversations, waiting for the right person to be in a good mood, tiptoeing around it. It was my upbringing. It was my, unfortunately, not positive model of the world of what healthy relationships look like. Oh, actually, it didn't look like healthy relationships. You can handle career change better without slipping into existential fears. So even your inner self-talk can change to, I'll figure it out. Then also your strategy. You think about the now and the future. What can I do? Who can I become to prevent this situation happening again? What can I do to have more financial intelligence and wisdom to set myself up? What can I do to have more emotional intelligence, capacity, mastery, so that if that situation comes up, I will respond differently and in accordance to my values, leaving me more peaceful and in my personal power. And then difficult things, handling divorces, divorce or divorces, if you have a few. So I remember one of my clients, she was going through a career change and a divorce at the same time. And that's a lot to carry. And every normal person, the capacity of the emotional kind of calmness, like it just is very, very challenging. And I supported her through like deep subconscious processes to navigate the specific topic of the divorce. Again, but her part, her reaction, her inner responses. And then weeks and weeks later, or months later, she messaged me privately saying how like that was a game changer. That not being reactive and catching herself, observing herself, not being hooked in to that emotional game gave her much more focus, clarity, and she was able to navigate through that. And therefore, the career change was also easier because this didn't drain and influence her that much. So challenges will happen. Hard stuff in our lives do happen. Handle leadership. There's a lot of leaders out there with imposter syndromes. Apparently 75%. So if you have it, you're not alone. And also there's a way out and there's a way through. Handling uncertainty, there's this real and perceived fear of uncertainty. And as human beings, we like knowing. We don't like to like not knowing. Handle money and increase of money. And also, depending like what is your relationship with money, do you hoard it? Do you treat it like a hot potato the moment you got it, you're like, oh, gotta spend it. So, that's also when our capacity changes, holding changes as well. Handling criticism, that's a big one. And handling joy and love. I love the work and the book by Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap. Get it. I listened to it on audio for at least 4 times throughout the last few years. Get it. The Big Leap. It will open your eyes. Did I already tell you should get the book? So that also, summary, we have all certain limits or capacities to hold specifically love, success, and abundance. And anytime we go above it, of what we decided as children, unconsciously by observing the world, what's possible for us, anytime we go above it, it gets too good to be true. Something happens. Self-sabotage. We either get sick in an argument, an accident, we start kind of getting anxiety and worry, and we don't really know why. It's because you bypassed your upper limit. So you're able to handle all of that when you grow your emotional capacity and you kind of like lock it in without collapsing. So in my previous posts, I also share some questions that I take my clients through. So self-reflection, and then turning that reflection into actual behavioral change is what changes our trajectory, our life, improves it. And so I'm curious, what are your insights? Are you aware of your capacity? Are you aware of areas in your life where you can grow in your capacity? I'm really curious. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. If you want to join me in my membership, or if I can support you one-on-one, let me know. We can jump on a call and see if we are fit. If not, I can see if I can direct you to the right direction. So all my love, Coach Milijana.